Alright everyone, No Holidays Allowed 2023 is back with our final run of the event. Please welcome Nights into Dreams by DreamTora.
Hello again everyone, it's me, Tora, and I'm bringing you a completely different game, an older game in fact. This is Nights into Dreams for the Sega Saturn. One of the I would say flagship Sega games for the console. Before I begin the run, I am going to quickly explain this category. So you see on the screen here, there are 8 levels, but there are technically only 7 that I have to do with this category. 3 of Claris's levels, and 3 of Elliot's, and 1 of their variations of Twin Seeds, which is the final stage. But with that, I am going to begin the run in 3, 2, 1, go. And so the gameplay for this game is quite different than like the Sonic games, as you seen me run earlier. But same kind of concept in that you can actually boost through these levels using knights here. And the point of these levels is I collect these items, these blue orbs, they're called chips, and you collect 20 to break open those cages that you see, like the cage you saw me pass earlier. And once you collect these Idia, this orb that's circling me, you go back to the shrine and you start another lap. And basically there are 4 laps per stage. Like there are technically 5 Idias that you have to collect per level, but you already collect 1 of them just dualizing with knights in the beginning of the stage. Oh, I need to go back. So there is a upgrade that you get in this lap, which you see that meter on the bottom left. That is your boost meter, and you got to make sure that that meter is full for this stage in the run, because we're going to need it especially for the boss of this stage, Gilwing. And so after you get all 5 of the Idias and return them to the shrine, you are taken to the boss of each of the stages. And the boss of this stage in particular is really interesting because we don't do him quite as intended. And I will explain that in a bit once we get to him. But in the meantime, I am just going to be finishing up this lap and getting all the chips in order to break open this cage and free the last Idia. Oops, I bounce off the mountain. Oh, and you see those rings that I fly through? Those loops also fill up your boost gauge a little bit. The yellow ones fill them up a little bit, and the half loops fill them up by a lot. But anyway, oops. I'm gonna need you to go up for me, buddy. So, Gilwing here, intentionally you need to, like, grab his head and, like, hit him multiple times in order to defeat him. But there is a quick kill strat that we do, where if we loop in the right spot on his tail... There we go. So that is the quick kill on Gilwing, which saves a ton of time because you normally would have to hit him like several times in order to defeat him, because each time you throw his head, his tail gets smaller. And I am going to hopefully do a soft reset here. Oh, I didn't do it correctly. So there's a soft reset you can do by holding all the face buttons, and it lets you go back to the title screen. which skips that little tutorial thing there. And with that, we are on to the second stage of Claris, which is Mystic Forest. And Mystic Forest is a pretty interesting stage that we were doing at least a few of the laps as intended, but one of them we are going to be doing a little different. So we start this first lap like normally, collecting all the chips. Oops, I did not mean to go into the cage there. And this one you do in like multiple laps before you get enough chips to break open the cage. And then after you break the cage, you actually go backwards here because it's faster than doing the full loop. And this second lap, they're kind of like, the thing about this stage is it's got a lot of obstacles that are in your way. So you kind of have to maneuver around them to make sure you don't get slowed down too much. But this one, this particular path is pretty straightforward. But this third one coming up, it was discovered a while ago that doing it backwards was actually faster than doing it forwards. And so I'm going to be going backwards and collecting these chips along the way. And if I do this right, I'll get exactly 16, which I need because there's at least 4 right here. Then I go this cage. And then I finish up this mare. And this mare that's coming up is really fun because there is a top-down section that there is a little car driving around, and wherever NiGHTS flies, it follows, and sometimes you can lead it into a garage, and when you do, there's a little chime that plays, but it's kind of random whether or not you get it to go into the garage or not, so we'll see. And I didn't actually need to collect all those chips back there because you can collect some right here, but unfortunately we did not park the car. But I think if I had not taken my time to get those other chips, I probably would have been able to lead it to the garage. But now we're on to this second boss, Gopo. And this boss is kind of one of the more weird bosses, in that, like, there is a certain pattern you could do to quickly defeat him. Because how he works is that you take these fish on the outside and fly into him, and he takes more damage when he's upside down than when he's right side up. So unfortunately, this Gopo fight is not going as I want it to. Oh, actually, that's actually not bad. Like, best case scenario, you could get a pretty good time on Gopo there. Like, I think there's a specific pattern you could take where you, like, take bottom fish, this fish, or something like that, but like, it's been a while since I've ran this game, so I don't exactly remember, like, how this fight works. That's like best case scenario for a marathon. So I'd hold the base buttons as well as the start buttons until that thing disappears, the score thing disappears, but apparently I'm holding it down a little too long or a little too short, so one of these times I'll manage to get the soft reset properly. Now we're on to Soft Museum, which is like, the name is pretty fitting because everything is bouncy. in this stage. But, interestingly, this is one of the first stages that you, do the first mare by foot. Because it's, faster than doing it with knights. And this is the first time you'll see me, like, kind of jumping around with Claris. And jumping around with Claris and Elliot is, like, the fastest way to get them around. And also, you've probably noticed that clock that appeared. The alarm clock will chase you, and if it manages to catch you, that's an instant game over, so you do not want that to happen. And inside here is like pretty much a bounce house. If you enjoyed having a playing in the bounce house as a kid, you'd be familiar with like how bouncy everything is. And this is another mare that I need to remember to get the boost upgrade in. Because the boss of this stage is one you do not want to not have the boost for. Okay, so now this mare is gonna be one of a few auto-scroller skips, because this mare is normally a huge auto-scroller, and that you like you normally would like fly around and bounce off different stuff, and you collect idiots along the ships along the way. It's really slow, so we do this method of here. I do not remember at all how this works. So there are some chips in the background that you can't see, but I can actually manage to grab by doing this super loop, where I'm just bouncing off the... I might be in the wrong spot. This is what happens when you don't do this game for so many years. So unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to take the auto-scroller because I'm out of boost. And you definitely need boost in order to do that trick. I'm probably gonna game over oh. Wait. I have the chips. Even if I turn back into one of the kids here, not a big deal. Because I could just go all the way to the gate. Oh, it wants me to recollect these. Gotcha. There we go. There we go. So you could, if you time your jumps properly with Claris, you could do like a pretty big jump, which if you can do those... Why are you not letting me in? Oh! Because I haven't broke the thing. Silly me. Okay. So that's a little bit of an unfortunate time loss, but hopefully we could make up for that with this last mare and also the boss. The boss of this particular level is kind of like one of the most tedious ones to do, because sometimes he doesn't want to cooperate. And also, he's not really fun to do when you don't have much boost, which I unfortunately have very little of. Oops. Flew right over it. So this boss is Jackal, and his thing is he likes to spin around and throw cards at you. The way to defeat him is to grab him and keep grabbing him. And I like threw him towards his cape, so that's not cool. Point is, you want to keep him away from his cape. Okay, managed to save it. So, if you're a really good best case scenario Jackal, there is if you manage to keep him away from his cape and like just keep repeatedly grabbing him very quickly. 89 though is not bad for a Jackal fight though. I am not getting that. I'm probably doing it wrong. I haven't done this in a while. So, we're done with the Claris levels. We're going to be moving on to the Elliot levels. Starting with, Splash Garden. Splash Garden is another one where you do, the first mare by foot. And everyone enjoy the nice, comfy music of this stage. This is actually one of the stages that has, like, my favorite music in the game. Honestly, this whole game has really good music. And I highly recommend if you pick up the PC version of this game, at least, to check it out, because it's a really, really good game. So I know not everyone, like, is able to understand this game, which is honestly not surprising given how obscure it is in concept. So now that I'm done with the first mare, most of this stage is going to be going as normal, so if you have any donations or anything you want to read off, now would be a good time.
Absolutely. Just to remind everyone that you are currently watching No Holidays Allowed 2023, presented by No Glitches Allowed, and we are raising money for Go Rescue, a dog shelter in Norfolk, Virginia. Go Rescue works to provide a haven for homeless dogs, giving them the time, care, and love they need to find not just any home, but the right home. And chat, this is the last run of the entire event, and so there's not much time left to donate. If you want to and you're able to, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can type !donate in chat. That'll give you a link to our Tiltify page where you can make a direct donation. Or you can use the QR code that's displayed on the screen, just sort of underneath Tora's name and my name. There's a QR code there, and you can scan that with your phone, and that will also take you to the Tiltify page where you can donate to a fantastic cause.
So this this fourth mare of Splash Garden is similar to Soft Museum in that it has an auto-scroller. And we pretty much do what I failed to do in Soft Museum, in that I do a huge paraloop in order to collect all, like, the background chips that I need in order to get this Idia. And with that, we're already on the boss of this stage, which is Puffy. Puffy is pretty notorious for being a troll at times, so hopefully she doesn't troll me too much. You basically just grab her and you throw her... I hope I can grab her. Throw her through these destructible walls. So far she's cooperating, which is nice. Yeah, this is actually a best case scenario Puffy, so I'm happy with that. She could be like very uncooperative in that she'll like to bounce in a certain way that makes it like impossible for you to aim correctly at where you want her to go. So with that done, we are going to be moving on to the second stage of Elliot's, which is Frozen Bill. And we mentioned earlier that the bobsledding in Coolidge in Sonic Unleashed is similar to the one here in Nights, which this stage is the one stage you will see the auto-scroller in because there is no way to actually skip it. Plus the auto-scroller section is short enough that it's really not a big deal to take it. So this stage is one I do on foot only for part of it, and then for the rest of it I hand it over to Nights in order to collect the rest of the chips that I need. Oops. So, I discovered something strange in the past. Like, the first mare there, I used to grab the cage and then go backwards. But as it turns out, if you try and go backwards, you go into the second mare, and the first 4 chips don't spawn, which is actually kind of bad because with the intended path that I just did there, if you don't get those 4 chips, you're gonna have to collect like extra chips past the cage, and that is kind of not ideal in a speedrun situation. And I'm gonna be just breaking a lot of snowballs here. There is a specific snowball loop that has chips here, and also a boost. Oops. I apparently missed some chips somewhere. Where did I miss some chips? There. Oh, wait. Did I get the— No, I didn't get the cage, that's right. So there are these cages that hold a lot of chips in them. And I completely forgot that you're supposed to get that one down there. And here comes the auto-scroller, where Nights turns himself into a bobsled. Which, it is amusing to me that, that Nights turns himself into certain things. Like, I skipped the auto-scroller in Splash Garden, which Nights turns himself into a dolphin. How did I not get enough there? Oh, I didn't get enough in the auto-scroller, that's right. So, sometimes you don't get enough in the auto-scroller, and so I kind of just have to, like, I might have to go for another loop. It can be a little bit tedious to try and get through this auto-scroller and get all the chips that you need in order to break open the cage. So, like, going for a second loop isn't terribly uncommon. Where the heck is the... Oh, it's right over here. There we go. So now we're on to the boss, which is, Claus. And, Claus likes to jump around on these mice. Which, certain ones he'll light up. And they'll, like, after a while, if you take too long, they will actually explode on you. And what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to get rid of as many mice as possible, and it turns out if you paraloop the unlit ones, they'll, whoops. They'll just explode anyway. And he jumped on me, because he's a jerk. This is one of the fights that could go either way. Either it goes pretty good, or really bad. And I'll say this is definitely more on the bad side. Just because it's kind of... like, it's kind of rough trying to get rid of all the mice and also keep track of, like, where Claus will go. Did I get it? Yes. So, I think I just had my timing wrong. So that is what a soft reset looks like. I kind of have to be careful of trying to do the soft reset at times, because if you do it wrong, you will get booted back to the BIOS of the Saturn, which is kind of a big time loss, because you have to like reboot the game and continue where you left off. What I tried to do there is something we call cactus. What is it? Cactus skip? And that if you jump on top of that cactus as Elliot, somehow like it skips the cutscene where the animals like take the idiot from you, and has a really weird effect afterwards, where if you dualize with knights, he'll like be stuck like he's driving a car. Like it's a really strange animation, and I highly recommend to look up a video of that particular skip, because it's pretty wild when it's done right. And so this mare is a little scary, because this is the first one that has an auto-scroller, and you do not want to take the auto-scrollers in this stage because they are slow. There we go. So that grate right there, if you get too close to it, it'll automatically grab you and start the auto-scroller, so you kind of just have to graze barely up against it in order to get the chips that you need. Also, that enemy I just destroyed is called a cuddle. Those things, if you fly through the triangle that they make, they will take away all your boost, which that one just did, so that's not ideal, but that just to show you an example of what they do when you fly through them. So this, I'm a magnet now, and I'm collecting all these random objects. And those things that you saw, those little critters that you just saw stick to me, those are NiGHTS. Which, if you're familiar with the Chow in Sonic games, like the Chow Gardens, those are what part of what's called an A-Life system. And the A-Life system originally started with this game, because the A-Life is what the NiGHTS are based on. And when you do a speed run, you specifically have to delete the A-Life file, because as it turns out, if you leave the NiGHTS alone, like to reproduce too much, there'll be so many of them, it'll actually lag the game, and that's not ideal. And this is what I call the Tower of Terror, because normally you would take the auto-scroller for this mare, but it is extremely slow, actually much slower than the last one that we skipped. And so instead of taking that, we are going to be going down this tower, and because you're only supposed to go up this tower, the camera will fight you as you're trying to go down. So hopefully I get... Oh, and those booster things will be like, hey, you're supposed to go this way, so... What are you doing going backwards? So, thankfully that's best case scenario of that tower. I have a lot of boost, which is great because this upcoming boss, Riala, is going to take all the boost I could have. This is Riala. He's like the Shadow the Hedgehog of this series. And you defeat him by paralooping him. But you have to be careful because sometimes he'll paraloop you. And if he does that, then it's bad news bears. So you have to paraloop him 3 times. Wow, that counted? Okay. So I didn't think I actually paralooped there, but somehow I managed to catch him in a teeny tiny paraloop and for a 3rd hit. So that's actually like a really, 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 really good Riala. Like, best case scenario. It's honestly the best boss I've done this entire run. Oops, I let go too soon. So now we're done with all the main stages. We are going to be going to the last stage, Twin Seeds, which you only need to do Twin Seeds once. Like, once with one of the characters. So, you could do it with Elliot or Claris, it doesn't really matter. Most runners do it with Elliot, because he has the best ending. But I do it with Claris because my copy of NiGHTS has a problem in that, like, if it tries to load Elliot's ending, it'll just completely, like, freeze. So I do Claris's ending instead, which is just as good. So you notice I am not NiGHTS, I am Claris. I cannot paraloop, but you can, to make up for that, I am able to, like, magnetize the chips to me much easier than NiGHTS did. And I'm just like taking all these loops just for safety, because the final boss is another boss that you kind of need a lot of boost for. And I like to play it safe, especially for a marathon setting. And so for the most part, they're pretty generous with how many chips they provide. Oh, by the way, this is interesting mare in that you stop and go backwards instead of going forwards as intended, because you get to get all these balloons and all of the chips that you need in order to get this idea. And I'm going to be doing the same thing for this final mare once I get to a certain point, because you could take these loops here. You'll see some of those loops are spiked. If you go through them, it's kind of precise to get through them without taking damage, but it is possible. Come on, okay. So, thankfully, if you come up short on the chips, you could break open one of those balloons at the top, and they'll give you like a little bit of the chips that you need. Alright, so flashing warning, by the way. So this is the final boss that we are coming up on. This is Wiseman. He is actually the main villain of this game. Like, the lore of this game is kind of complicated to explain, but basically, these children are summoned by knights to save... Well, that's an interesting glitch. Summoned to save the dream world from Wiseman, who wants to turn it into nightmares. And so we are now 2 knights instead of just 1. And this boss, basically, you just need to get to him and grab him. And you need to have both knights grab him. So once that shield turns like a slight rainbowy color, that is when you want to attack. And it's unfortunate that I don't have much boost here, because there is one phase of his that is going to be... If I could get getting snowballed here. There we go. So this tornado phase is a little tricky because he throws these tornadoes, and the middle is the safe zone. And without boost, it's a little tricky to get through those. And that is Wiseman defeated. Time will be coming up as soon as the screen fades to white. So I'll be calling it out in just a bit. And we turn back to the kids, and time.
GG.
Yeah, that is, like, kind of, like, I'm extremely rusty at this run, but honestly, like, all things considered, it was still a pretty decent run, despite having to take that detour in Soft Museum.
That was a fantastic run, and, Tora, can I offer you a bit of exciting news?
What is it?
We reached $1,000 raised for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center, thanks to a generous $70 donation by Snow Bunny during that run. So, not only was that a fantastic run, but we've reached $1,000. But I do believe we still have an incentive, right?
Yep, we have Christmas nights, which hopefully I still have my save file. I had to replace the battery on my Saturn recently because I noticed my save files were gone, so hopefully that's not the case for Christmas nights, but even if it is, I'll still, like figure out a way to compromise.
Awesome. And for tech, could you just give us a category and estimate?
It'll be I forget what the category you call for Christmas nights is.
If
but I think it's
just
probably like beat the game. But if I have my save file still, there's a little treat that I would like to show everyone.
Oh, sounds great.
I'll get set up for that.
Yeah, absolutely. While you are setting up, I want to just remind everyone, of course, that a little bit about our charity. So No Holidays Allowed 2023 is raising money for Go Rescue, a dog shelter in Norfolk, Virginia. Go Rescue works to provide a haven for homeless dogs, giving them the time, care, and love they need to find not just any home, but the right home. And so this event, they're getting at least $1,000, but you know what? You still have time. The stream isn't over yet. The donation link is not yet closed. You can still donate if you are interested and able to. !donate in chat for the Tiltify link or the QR code on screen. You can scan that with your phone, and that will also take you to the Tiltify page where you can donate directly to Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. Also, chat, can I just get some applause like a round of applause for Tora for doing so many fantastic games in like back to back. This has been such an extended showcase of some awesome games. Yeah, so just get some hype for Tora and these fantastic runs.
It's honestly a real honor that be the closing runs of the night. Like, I didn't expect to do Generations tonight as well, but with, you know, the tech issues. But I'm glad it worked out anyway, because Sonic Generations was definitely a run I was hoping to show off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, unfortunately, I do not lock my save files, so...
Oh, that is unfortunate.
So, the unfortunate part of that is, with a completed save file, you unlock a extra mode called Sonic in the Dreams, which lets you play as Sonic. But unfortunately, that you needed to unlock that via playing the game multiple times and unlocking via presence. So, for the sake of time in the marathon, I'm probably just gonna stick with just doing both Claris and Elliot's levels.
That sounds fantastic. Do you have an estimate?
About 15 to 20 minutes. So 20 minutes is probably a good estimate.
Awesome, thank you.
This is a very, very short game. But yeah, Christmas Nights is actually like a demo disc that was not originally for retail sale. Like, it was actually available exclusively, like, with certain magazines, or like you could like, I don't know like other ways you could obtain it, but one of the ways we obtained it was through a magazine. So, but this is basically the demo disc of Nights, only holiday themed. So I hope you all enjoy the wonderful holiday music, and like, yeah, I really think you're gonna enjoy it. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it in 3, 2, 1, go. So this demo disc only includes one level, and that is Spring Valley. And it's also Spring Valley for Elliot as well. But Elliot's is actually much different than Claris's. Claris's is the same as it is in the main game. But yeah. Basically, this is the same thing. You collect these chips, only the chips are kind of like sparkly colored for the holidays. And you see that everything is decorated for the holidays, even the shrine. The shrine looks like a cake. And you break open these Christmas tree cages. And you get that wonderful chime when you return the Idias to the shrine. So yeah, basically the same deal as the main game. So there's not really much to explain other than like it's basically Spring Valley, only holiday themed. Down to there. Nope.
As someone is saying in chat, there's one holiday allowed, and that is the holiday special disc.
Yes. No holidays allowed except for Christmas Nights. Oh, and also the star things that you normally collect in the main game, those are changed into bells, which I think is a nice little touch. And apparently miss. Oh, I missed a lot. There we go. I didn't need that many chips, but thank you. Thank you, game. So, oh, you notice, I didn't even explain this before, but, you notice after I break the cage and get the Idia, the chips turn a golden color. If you collect a lot of chips, like, before you return to the shrine, and after you collect the Idia, like, it will give you bonus points. This, game has a pretty big, like, score attack community. Believe it or not, like, there is a fellow former Knights runner that I used to do races with. He actually used to time attack this game before he got into speedrunning it, and it was through the Knights like time attack community that he met his wife. So this Going is basically the same as the main game Going. You see he's all decked out, and his tail has a star at the end. And trying to do this without boost is something. Oh, that is not the best, not the quick kill, but he is low enough that I can just quickly kill him like that. So that star that was at the end of Going's tail, that is the star we needed to collect, because the story of Christmas Nights is that the star is missing off the top of the Christmas tree in the actual world, so you have to collect the star again in order for the tree to be complete. Whoops. Oh, and after you finish each stage, you do this. And this basically is how you unlock, whoops. Sonic into Dreams. But you have to be careful with each round of the presents, because there is a hidden Riella, and if you hit the Riella, it just instantly knocks you out. So with that, we're going to be doing Elliot's level now. And Elliot's layout of Spring Valley is actually much different, and one that I'm not familiar with. But, like, I believe the aforementioned former runner I mentioned before, like, tried to route it out, but, like, very, very roughly, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out as well as we had hoped. Basically, Elliot's Spring Valley is about the same as Claris's, sans the layout, or the mares being different. Oops. I managed to hatch a Nighttopian. You do not want to do that. Don't let them fool you, everyone. Like, Nighttopians look cute, but for the sake of speedruns, they are evil. I keep grabbing a bunch of enemies instead of trying to get... There we go. Oops. There's some chips over here. Is there a cage somewhere? Oh, there it is, yeah. So the cage things that hold all the chips, in this game they look like present boxes, which is fitting. So you open a present and get a bunch of chips. Actually doing pretty well, considering I'm not as familiar with Elliot's layouts. I almost said Elliot's Claris, and like, that doesn't make sense. In a sense, like, his layouts are... Some of his layouts are kind of similar to Claris's, only they have, like, some different, twist to them. So, Man, these like, those enemies are called Nightmarins, by the way. Which, fun fact, NiGHTS is actually a Nightmarin. He was created by Wise Man. But, like the little rebel he is, he decided to go against Wise Man. Also, another fun fact, NiGHTS, is a character that you could call him by any pronoun you want to. Like, any pronoun is acceptable for NiGHTS. Which is a pretty interesting instance of an any-all character. Like, even, I believe it was, Yuji Naka or some other creator of NiGHTS that confirmed that. So it's not just like a fan thing. Like, it actually is confirmed that NiGHTS is an any-all pronoun character. What is this page that I'm missing? Probably just right in the beginning here. There we go. It was hiding from me. That is the last. That is the last area of this stage. Now we're going to be doing Gilwing again. Only this time, Gilwing is actually going the opposite way that Gilwing usually does. So instead of going left around, Gilwing is going right. Also, since I'm like putting out a bunch of random facts, Gilwing. Oh, there we go. Quick Gilwing. Gilwing is one of those weird instances that like. The music for Gilwing won't actually start until Gilwing roars. So if Gilwing is quiet, there will be no music. By the way, that's time.
With the help of NiGHTS, Elliot
and we get this lovely ending where we restore the star to the Christmas tree.
But the entire story was a dream. So, what was that star? They don't talk about the dream they saw. But there is one thing both of them know. Something
that is Christmas night.
After they embark on an adventure with NiGHTS.
A perfect ending to this marathon, I would say.
I agree.
And Elliot slipped.
They start feeling cheerful again.
Are you okay?
And now, happiness, like the light of a small candle, starts filling the city once again. Everything is okay now.
Everything is okay now.
Give a star of happiness to the heart of these brave children. Give a star of happiness to the heart of everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And then you get this wonderful a cappella version of Dream Dreams, which actually I kind of stopped the original game before the credits started, but Dream Dreams is a really good song from NiGHTS, but yeah.
thank you for showing us this wonderful, wonderful special version.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that I was able to show it off, because it really is a wonderful treat whenever I show off nights in general.
So good, so good. If folks want to see more of you, where can they find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/DreamTora. I actually haven't been... I've been taking like a year-long break from streaming, but pretty soon I should get back into streaming, so if you want to check me out, then go ahead and stop on by whenever I do stream. I run this game, well, not Christmas nights, but I run regular nights from time to time whenever I feel like it. But I also run Sonic games, like Sonic Generations, so if like Sonic nights or a general comfy vibe is your type of thing, then definitely check out my stream.
Yeah, thank you so much. And that, folks, is our final run of the night. Don't worry, we will be back. We have some assortment of volunteers and organizers set up for a call. But I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I've enjoyed being host, and it's been an honor to be the final host. If you want to check me out, you can find me on Twitch at selcouthmind, over on YouTube as well at the selcouthmind. I sort of make content both places. Recommend following, subscribing, whatever it's called on the platform, to get notified when I post. But yes, stay tuned, do not run away. We still have one more thing coming up.